such as the MLB right now. They have their different coronavirus protocols that they have to follow, and they have their different, when you're on base, you have to pull the mask up, you have to socially distance in the dugout when all possible, and for a good purpose, because we even saw with the Mariners how many players tested positive with the Mariners, and how many since then have still come up positive. We saw Auburn football yesterday with 34 different players tested positive. So this is definitely like an issue that's not going away. It's definitely something that we need to focus on. But going back on July 24th, we were able to get started with a great opening day. We were blessed with two amazing games. Started with the reigning champions, the Nationals, taking on the odds-on favorite, the New York Yankees. It was a really good game, and it got the case of the 2020s. The very first game of baseball that we get, and the very first major sports event that we get in a long time, and it got rain delayed. The game got officially ended in the 6th inning. 4-1 in favor of the Yankees, but it was a really good game. Garrett Cole, Max Scherzer faced off in a game of playoff familiarities and like playoff intensity. You could just see it with every bat swing, every time, and just the excitement. Even though there was no crowds in the stands, you could just feel the excitement reverberating through the dirt, and it was just great to be a sports fan again. And of course, the question that's on everybody's mind is, what makes the New York Yankees the odds-on favorites to win the series this year? And what could get in their way of a successful season, of holding that Commissioner's Trophy at the end of October? When you look at the New York Yankees, me personally, I'm just a huge fan. As you know, I'm a Rockies fan, and I'm just a huge fan 1 through 9 of their lineup. They have such a solid lineup. I would argue to say the best lineup in the majors, to be honest with you. They got Aaron Judge. He's an absolute behemoth in the batter's box and in the outfield, obviously. When you think New York Yankees, when you think the pinstripes, you think Aaron Judge. You think 99. You think that massive frame in the batter's box, crushing home runs. Practically what seems like every single at-bat. Then you go to like Giancarlo Stanton. He's proven time and time again that he's a clutch batter, and he is who you want with the wood in his hands, with the game on the line. Giancarlo Stanton is also hitting in the DH spot this year with the new changes to the rules, which is allowing him less opportunity for injury, for an injury-plagued season. So he's almost seemingly fresh every single day coming off that designated hitter spot for the most part. And then you just keep looking down their lineup. You got the Gleyber Torres. He's coming off of as a 22-year-old. Gleyber Torres had a season of Alex Rodriguez proportions. And if you weren't alive in the Alex Rodriguez fans, or in Alex Rodriguez time, or you weren't a Yankees fan back then, you weren't just paying attention to baseball, Alex Rodriguez did something that nobody at the age of 22. The numbers that he put up, they just set him up. When you look back at that, they set him up to be the great A-Rod that he ended up being at the end of his career. Steroids or not. But he had an amazing caliber season last year, and he's projected to actually tie Mike Trout for 5th most home runs all time by a youngster through the age of 27. And very few middle infielders have been able to accomplish putting up numbers at this rate like Gleyber Torres has been. Like I said, Alex Rodriguez is one of the examples, one of the great middle infielders that just at that young age was able to show those flashes and was able to show that prospect. And then also, to be honest with you, I still haven't even been able to mention my favorite player in the stripes, the man that I'll never forgive the Colorado Rockies for, DJ LeMahieu, coming off of an absolutely amazing MVP caliber season last year. DJ LeMahieu absolutely killed it. He was arguably the team's MVP last year. There was no better player in the pinstripes last year than DJ LeMahieu. He led the MLB in runs in 2019, and he was also the second in home runs in 2019, which just goes to show you why DJ LeMahieu, outside of his Golden Glove performances, outside of what he does in the field, just the fact of being able to drive those runs in, being able to drive himself in, it doesn't matter. DJ LeMahieu can do it, and he's primed for yet another MVP caliber season. They added Garrett Cole, an amazing pitcher, to an already pretty stout bullpen. And honestly, just all signs are pointing up for the New York Yankees, and it makes you look at what teams around the MLB are built to stop the Yankees. And I don't really think there's any full top to bottom teams as stacked as the New York Yankees. But that brings me to the fact of what will get in the Yankees' way of being a good team this year, and not just being a good team, but winning the championship this year. And I feel like the answer is almost obvious. It's injury. The New York Yankees last season, being so highly touted this year coming into the season, they in this season we only have 60 games, as everybody knows, and the Yankees have only 7 off days in the next 67 days until what is the day the season ends? I believe September 27th is the last official day of the season. So the Yankees have 7 days off in the 60 games that they have between now and September 27th, and one of them was the day after opening day. They had an early opening day game on Friday, and they ended up getting the next day off on Saturday. So the Yankees and the Nationals both have already used one of their very few days off in this next 2 months. So that's a hard stretch to go through. COVID-19 has already affected 5 teams in the MLB that we've been alerted of. 32 players at least have been tested positive for the coronavirus in just 2 weeks of playing baseball. Need I remind you, we didn't start until July 24th playing baseball. Today is August 18th. It hasn't even been a full month, and we've already seen 5 teams and 32 players affected. You look at the Marlins. I believe they had 14 players and 9 coaches test positive. We had a bevy of different teams. And the Yankees are no stranger to losing players. Everybody's a stranger to losing players due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but the Yankees are no stranger to losing players. The injury bug plagued the Yankees last year. Was their biggest issue last year, and what I'd like to say kept them from a deeper playoff run in 2019. And it's going to be what keeps them from a deep playoff run in 2020 is the injury bug. Last season, a total of 30 players hit the IL last year on the Yankees. 30 players. That's absolutely out. And Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, they missed some of their biggest players for multiple weeks at a time. And you saw the differences in their offense and in their defense without those key players on the field. As stacked as the Yankees are, no baseball team is built for the depth of losing 30 players throughout the season. And with the coronavirus added into the already injury bug that the injury bug that the Yankees already have, coronavirus is just going to make it even harder for the Yankees to keep a full lineup. So if the Yankees can keep their full team healthy for the majority of the 60 games, the Yankees should be holding the Commissioner's Trophy at the end of the series. They'll be adding a pennant and the Commissioner's Trophy to their trophy case at the end of October here. But that's only if they can avoid the injury bug. That's only if they can keep their players healthy and they can keep everything moving and grooving and keeping the bat swinging. Because you can't score if you're not on the field. And the Yankees know that. They saw that last year. So that's honestly my take on why the Yankees are favored and why the Yankees should win if they're healthy. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Huddle Chat Sports Show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Indo is my Indo. And don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know about any debate ideas you have. And don't forget that notifications bell for future information about future episodes. And again, don't forget to hit one of these couple videos on your screen here. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for your support. And stay blazing out there.